A YouTube show about comics advertised for 7 minutes, but actually running in at 10? Why, it must be 7 Minutes with Kevin, and I'm your host, Kevin Michael Rowe! So, welcome back, party people, to another episode of 7 Minutes with Kevin. I'm here with comic book creator and Michael Sweater tattoo collector, Matt Carr, author of the upcoming CEX book. Forgive me for if I mispronounce it, because I'm not cultured. Mise En Place, coming April 22nd. 26th from CEX Publishing. Matt Carr, thanks for joining us today, dude.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here, Kevin.
Awesome. Yeah. So this is really cool because we took that one-shot class with CEX where we got to see, I got to see firsthand the story come to life and everything. And it's great as someone else who doesn't eat meat. It's pretty cool to see this pro-vegetarian vegan propaganda coming out into the world. So that's really cool. So where did the idea for this, do you want to give us the elevator pitch real quick? To let my mom and the other viewers out there know what it's all about?
Sure. Yeah. Basically some future or alternative world where humanity has run out of all of its resources, including meat. So they look to the stars and other planets for resources and start colonizing and enslaving alien creatures and turning them into dinner. And so it's a revenge story about an alien that is getting revenge on its captors. Yeah, kind of a vegan propaganda story. I wanted to do a pulpy, messy, bloody revenge story, but with a anchor to the real world, something that something that is sort of relevant,
Yeah.
these days.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, definitely. And it's illustrated beautifully by Lane Lloyd. I'm very lucky enough that I also got a preview copy of it. Thank you very much for that. Just going through, looking at the artwork, I have a copy of it up right now. The colors and everything, it's just fantastic. Even you said, something retro and pulpy, it actually has that pulp feeling, with the coloring and everything. So it's really, really well done. So this went through, how'd you CEX, did you go through their creator services, or was it just you met Lane and just got to go?
Yeah, I did. I did, and it took me a really long time to find the right artist for it, because it's a it's a violent story, and it's a little weird and eccentric. So really wanted to find an artist to kind of match that kind of wacky vibe, and Lane did a really amazing job. They bring a ton of personality to all their poses and facial expressions. And it made something that could be kind of serious and sad, more kind of funny and pulpy and a little bit lighter.
Yes, your villain in this is fantastic. He looks like a real POS. So and it's great. And Lane really he captures that perfectly. And you also have a variant cover by Eisner nominee Nicole Gu, right?
Yes.
How the heck did that happen? Because that's a huge get.
Yeah, she is just one of my very favorite artists. Fuck Off Squad.
That's a good book.
Like Society. Shadow of Batgirl, another one. I was just at the time just reading a ton of her books, and she was the first person I asked. I just kind of took a swing, and she was available, and so yeah, just really excited. She did that really, really fast. The book actually got bumped up. It wasn't gonna release until the summer or something, but they had something fall through at CEX. So I needed to get a variant cover within 2 weeks, and she did a really quick turnaround for me. So I was super excited about that.
That's really great. Yeah, her work's really good, and her partner Dave Baker is a fantastic artist and writer as well. I'm a huge fan of their stuff. So that's just really good. Between this and our friend / my enemy Nikolai having that JG Jones variant cover for his book, it's just everyone's just hitting home runs with their covers these days through CEX, and that's rad.
Yeah.
So I did a little digging in your backstory. So you ran a bakery and you ran an indie record label. And how did that transition into comics? Were you always reading comics? Did you always like them, or is just yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 38, so I grew up on 90s X-Men comics when I was a kid. Huge collector till I was probably 11, 12 years old, then kind of stopped reading comics for a while, and then kind of rediscovered as an adult when I was living in Oregon. Like Blankets by like Craig Thompson was one of like
Oh,
the
that's a
first.
good book. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of was like, oh, like they make comics for like more adult readers, and not like superhero stuff.
Mhm.
And then I think my wife got me Sandman for my birthday one year. Yeah, and just got real back into it. With the Robert Kirkman stuff, like Walking Dead and Invincible, kind of
Yeah.
really reignited my passion for comics. And yeah, the starting to actually make my own comics. I mean, I think that was during the quarantine pandemic. Just I
Mhm.
was running my store, bakery, and just was had a lot of extra time on my hands, and was just doing that every night, taking the classes. And yeah, it's just my favorite storytelling medium.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, as a fellow 38-year-old, like our stories like kind of like lied, except that I was always still had like one foot into comics.
Yeah,
But like, it wasn't until like quarantine hit and everything else where I'm just like, you know what? I got nothing else to do. Let's just
yeah,
like dive head first. So it's really cool. And maybe COVID was kind of a blessing in the long run, because we're getting
yeah.
like so much other like creative stuff from people who might not have had the time to do it in the past. Like your book, I mean, my book, like I guess Nikolai's book, like a whole bunch of other people's stuff. So
Absolutely.
it's awesome. So you've got this coming out in April. What is next? Are you working on another book? Are you draw? I know you illustrate a little bit as well, right?
I doodle. I'm working on becoming a better artist. I mean,
Mhm.
drawing comics is so damn hard.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
um, yeah, so I closed my wife and I ran a bakery coffee shop for 10 years. We closed it in December, moved to California. We have like a pretty strong customer base, fan base back in DC still. So we're hoping to kind of tie that up with a cookbook. And
Oh, cool.
my idea is to make it sort of like a comic book cookbook, have some like comic
That's
strips in there, but
awesome.
recipes. So
Yeah.
um, before I start my next day job, I've been working on that, trying to figure out like what my style is going to be, but some sort of like comic strip type thing, 3 to 5 panel scenes,
Yeah.
you know, maybe not like a super cohesive story, but like some
Mhm.
snap of, what it's like working in the cafe.
Gotcha. No, that sounds really, really cool. And I do think that like, comics or comic strips, some that would like translate really well into like a cookbook and everything as well. So I would pre-order that in a heartbeat when that comes out, man. That sounds really rad.
Oh, appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just like obsessing over like what my style is, like
Mhm.
figure it out and then do it consistently.
Yeah.
I'm obsessing over details of like,
Yeah.
what everything's gonna look like eyes and what the cartoony hand shapes, like,
Yeah.
man, can get
Hands
real.
suck.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm doing the same thing. And I recently went through and I tried to do like a page full of hands until I gave up in futility and threw my pencil across the room. So
yeah,
like,
very
yeah,
frustrating.
yes, it is. But it's very rewarding too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I've been reading a lot of like people like Michael Sweater and
Mhm.
I don't know who else I got back here. His wife actually, Benji Nate, is also really
Mhm.
awesome. Cartoon.
Oh yeah. Hellphone's really cool.
Yes, that's a great
Yeah.
one.
That's really
Uh,
rad.
but folks that are doing like, I don't know, my favorite kind of comics are like the more like simple, straightforward kind of cartooning. Um,
Mhm.
so, you know, obviously that takes a lot of skill level to do that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
those are kind of my inspirational points right now.
Right. It's like that whole Silver Sprockety type scene, right? Like, which they
Yeah,
put out so many rad books, and like it's funny, like Silver Sprocket, like I've been a fan of theirs since he was doing records as like Springman Records, like back in the day. And then I remember like it started to transition everything. Like that's crazy because I still have like my first punk records from him, and I literally just ordered some from their website like 5 minutes ago. So it's something I've been supporting for like 25
uh,
years now. So that's pretty
yeah,
dope. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I just love that the people they publish of
Mhm.
all art styles. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
can never cross something like a Marvel or DC person like that really
Mhm.
beautiful rendered realistic stuff, but something more attainable is like
Yes.
some cartooning.
Absolutely. I agree. So, Matt, thank you so much for joining me today, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. I just want to make sure so people can find your stuff. You're at www.mattcarr.me, and then you're on Instagram and Twitter at Everybody Taste. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So make sure everyone checks out, go to your local comic book shop, or you can order it from CEX Publishing. Mise En Place, scheduled to be out April 26th. Art by Lane Lloyd, variant cover by Nicole Gu, and did Sean Reinhart letter it as well?
Exactly, and edited by our friend Paul.
Paul, who just got announced to write Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter for IDW Publishing, which is, I mean, 10-year-old me is super stoked.
Yeah,
right now, so.
right there.
Yeah, cool. Well, all right, man. Thank you so much. Have fun on the West Coast, and I can't wait to pick up your book.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, man.
All right, take it easy.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.